How's it going everyone, I'm Matt and welcome back to MK Plays. Today we are continuing with our Mario Galaxy ride in Planet Coaster. Kicking things off, I'm just finishing off this area around the castle here, adding the waterfall with some rocks and working on the lighting and some terraforming. However, this episode is focusing on this weird area between the castle and the scene with KAMEK. So I need to get the ride to make its way over to the part of the roller coaster that I built all the way back in episode 1, the launch section. So I kind of made it speed up and loop around this little mine section. Now I know what you're thinking, but Matt, there's no mine levels in Mario Galaxy. And to that I say, yep, I know, but in my world there is. I couldn't think of what to put in this section, so we're gonna go with this little mining area. We start off by going through a cave, and then once we speed up we pass an angry wiggler, which I found on the Steam workshop. I've set up the lighting to flash as we pass it, and after that we head through this little overgrown wooden canopy with ivy and vines growing over it. Then we loop around this little mine shaft before heading towards the screen with KAMEK. To make this little cave, I used some rocks, which seem to be like my go-to scenery piece for this ride. There's rocks everywhere you look, but I think it's just the right amount. I then put some black panels inside to create the illusion of darkness within the mine, and then I placed some crates and other scenery pieces to tie everything together. As we approach the screen with KAMEK, I have edited the soundtrack to line up with the scene from the game. I placed even more rocks, trees and shrubbery in the surrounding area and added some different coloured area lights. I decided to opt with placing Catherine wheel fireworks on the rocks that will play on a trigger when the coaster gets close enough to it, creating a cool circular motion as they activate. I also added lightning, smoke and some falling rubble, which elevated the effect of us being cast off and thrown down into like a dark abyss. Once inside the cave, we will make our way towards the section I made in the very first episode, being the scene with Rosalina. In the next episode, you'll see me make some changes to this section and finally start to work on the space setting. So I'm recording this after I've already started working on it, and let's just say, prepare to have your minds blown. However, I did make a very silly mistake. So you know how I liked the idea of concealing what's coming up, whether it be with mountains or trees. I ended up launching into space, and because it was so high off the ground, you could basically see it from earlier sections of the ride. So off camera, I had to go around and make the Mario mountains higher, I had to make the terrain higher, I had to add more trees. I basically had to work a lot more magic just to hide this giant black box, which is basically just the star panels that the coaster is enclosed within to give the effect that we are in space. But yeah, I learned my lesson. It's also not as dark as I'd like it to be because it's not covered in terrain. So going forward, I'm having to build the rest of the coaster underground just to provide us with the right level of darkness, and that way when I light things up, your eye will only go to the things that are lit up, whereas at the moment the space scene is quite bright, but then again, it's not supposed to be space in a realistic way, it's space in a Nintendo way, so I suppose it doesn't matter all too much. It's still very colourful and I think it looks quite cool. I'm going to leave you all with the rest of the time lapse now. Please stick around to the end of the video, there's some cinematic shots for you guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.